Now that's what I call beef. The Old Coot here, coming at you with another exciting video. Going to show everybody how I'm making Christmas Eve roast. These are chuck tenderloins or beef tenderloins. So it's not the chuck roast, right, which usually comes in slices and has a lot of fat in it. This is a lean, mean cut of beef. And basically, this one's 3 pounds. These two are about 2 1/4, 2.5 pounds. This one's a 3 pounder. So basically you've got somewhere in the ballpark of like upwards of 10 plus pounds. What I do is I've got a Volrath cookie sheet, right? Or a half tray as is more commonly known. And then I've got a cooling rack, which is also a Volrath. I will put links down below in the description to some of the stuff that I'm using. All the kitchen stuff, all the good stuff. There are budget versions. Like you could always get the Nordic Ware tray if you don't, or half sheet if you don't want to, spend the money or whatever. And there's also a budget cooling rack that I will put down below. But the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to get as much air. See the gap in the space underneath? I want to try to get as much air to circulate around these when I throw these in the refrigerator for, let's see, today's Friday, so Saturday, Sunday. So basically 2.5 days, these are going to sit in the fridge. And what's going to happen is I'm going to do a little bit of a 2.5 day dry age. What that does is basically it pulls some of the excess water out, which is in there because of the whole processing process, the meat packing, all that good stuff. And also any extra liquids that don't need to be in there. What that translates into is when you cut your beef, when it's all cooked and all said and done, you're going to get a juicy, flavorful, tender slice of meat that isn't watery. How many times have you bought a steak, took it home, cooked it right away, and it was too watery? That's exactly what this process prevents. So some people dry age for like a month or 60 days or whatever. In my case, I found that just doing this for about 2.5 days is golden. 2 days is even okay. Even 1 day is okay. So like in the future, if you're looking at this and you're buying a steak and you're like, how come my steak is always watery? Take it out of the packaging, salt both sides of it with some nice coarse kosher salt, and then throw it in the fridge like this on a tray or a rack or some kind of elevated surface so that air can get around it and the salt can go in there. The salt tenderizes the meat. It pulls out that excess water so you don't get a watery steak or watery cut of beef in this case. And basically what I also did was I just put some pepper on it. So a little bit of cracked pepper, a little bit of salt. I'm pre-seasoning. Basically what's going to happen is in 2.5 days, right? Sunday, which is Christmas Eve, I'm going to flip these over once, maybe tomorrow, just to make sure all sides are kind of, equally aerated. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw it in a 275 degree oven for about 3 hours, like 3.5 hours. And we'll do a temperature test. I'm going to have my ThermoPro Spike, which thank goodness ThermoPro makes such a great product. And also I'm going to be using my regular meat thermometer. As you can see here, my ThermoPro meat thermometer, digital meat thermometer, to basically get a temperature reading. I'm looking for somewhere in the ballpark of 150 to 160. I know these smaller pieces are going to cook quicker, right? They're going to be more done, which is totally fine because depending on how many guests you have at your holiday party, or depending on who likes well done beef as opposed to maybe medium done beef, as opposed to like rare done beef, you're going to have a smorgasbord, literally a flavorful cornucopia of different temperature and doneness type meats when it's all said and done. So if you want a consistent medium rare and that's what you're after, what you're gonna have to do is pull the two smaller ones out quicker, right? When they hit 150 or so and then carry over cooking, we'll do the rest and all that. But as you can see here on my handy dandy meat thermometer, beef well done is 170, beef medium is 160, beef rare is 145. So yeah, somewhere in that ballpark. If I pull it out like around, 145, 150, that should be fine. Then carryover cooking is going to do the rest. Anyways, timing is everything when it comes to holiday cooking. That's why if, let's say you're having dinner at 6 o'clock, figure it's going to take about 3 hours to cook these, but then you also need, give or take, around half an hour to 45 minutes to let them rest after you take them out of the oven. And the reason why you do that is because if you took them out of the oven and you cut into them right away, all that beautiful tender juice will come running out. and basically you're going to have water, you know, and juices all over your plate. But at the same time, it's going to get dry really quick. This way, when you take them out of the oven, right, after they've cooked for 3 hours or so, and you let them rest for about a half an hour, even longer is better. 45 minutes is even better. What'll happen is the juices have a chance to reconstitute themselves or to go back into where they just came from. Just imagine cutting into it when you take it right out of the oven as like a river flowing. This way you're going to get like a slow, gentle creak of juices that come out. So anyways, either way, I'm asking y'all to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button down there below. There will be links in the description. I'm sure this is going to be one of many videos that I'm going to be doing about this whole cooking process. Stay tuned. I'll be back with another video shortly where I'm going to break out the food processor and I'm going to make the sauce that goes with these. It's called different things: chutney, relish, a garnish, a sauce, you know, whatever you want to call it. But stay tuned for that video. It aims to please. It's going to be basically flat leaf parsley, capers, garlic, horseradish, some lemon juice, some olive oil, and a few other things here and there. So stay tuned for that video. Anyways, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. I will catch you on the next exciting video. And if you have any questions, please hit me up in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to answer those.